Good morning, everyone. Brian Harvey here. It is Saturday, the 23rd of October, 4:07 a.m. Do love these early morning ones. I weren't up to much. I was just going through my phone and looking at some of the links that I've been sent on a couple of interesting things, and I just thought I'll come online and share them with you. Basically, it's all around this. Now, this is Brown's nightclub became cocaine den, and this is one of the articles that has gone in the mainstream press. As you can see at the bottom here, this has been printed in the Times and the Independent on the 9th of the 12th, 2000. Now, there was a drugs raid on that club in 1999, so obviously the court case was a year later, and this is some of the stuff that was printed about that. And what's interesting about this article is that it's in Brown's nightclub in London's Covent Garden. Now, this is where Daniela Westbrook took me, and this is on that very night. That's us going into the club. That is that night, that exact night. That's what I had on, that's what she had on, that's what I would have been recognised in that night. Very recognisable at the time, doing well in the charts, just about coming up to having our 1994 Christmas #1. It stayed there for 5 weeks, stay another day. That hadn't happened yet in this photograph. And as you all know, you've heard the story that Daniela took me there that night. I had a couple of friends with me. We went in through a side door, which wasn't the main door, it was the one next to it to the right, which is what we're walking into there. And then we went up some stairs, some glass stairs, and we went into the office. And in the office, that's where Daniela said, "Oh, I want to use the toilet." That must have been code for "I want to go upstairs and get some drugs." And as she said that, the guys pushed a button underneath the desk, and a door in a wall that you wouldn't have known was there opened. And we was taken through there, which is basically a secret passage behind a wall that you had to go into the office to get to. I'm suggesting that's not the only way to get in there, because what this is all really about is, what I'm saying is that I've always suspected that there is an underground tunnel network that goes from this club in Covent Garden back to Buckingham Palace, and even a little bit further than that, which is Kensington Mews, in the house that Ghislaine Maxwell had, just round the corner from Harrods. And Ghislaine Maxwell's to the Red Rooms nightclub is only 2.2 miles in total. And if you draw a line from where Ghislaine Maxwell lived in that mews, along with other suspect people living in that mews as well, Henrietta Conrad, she used to do with Channel 4. Also, that was someone whose name come up in Epstein's Black Book numerous amount of times. But what I'm saying is, if I can find, I do have a picture here. Here we go. Right, so here in Belgravia, if you can look at the bottom left there, that is where Ghislaine Maxwell lived. And then up on the top right, you can see Covent Garden, and that is where the Red Rooms nightclub is. Now, if you look at the shortest route, which is a straight line between 2 points, from Belgravia to Covent Garden, it's only 2.2 miles, and you can draw a line straight through Buckingham Palace. Now, if we go back to that night, when we went through that wall and through the secret passage and up some stairs, the curtain was pulled back, there was a door behind, the door was open for us, walked under the guy's arm with holding Daniela's hand, and we walked through someone's private room. Except it's not a room in the club, it's behind a secret wall, so you wouldn't even know this place was there. And we've walked through, we've cut through this group's room, very dimly lit. They was all sort of sat on one of those U-shaped sofas that sort of wraps around the end of the room. There was a couple of sort of tub chairs with their back to me. There was a guy there with a balding head, older bloke, glasses, who I couldn't see his face. But the person's face that I did see was Ghislaine's, and she was on the far right, sitting next to a little boy. He looked about 9. He could have been younger. He was small. And then there was a girl now, and she could have only have been, I think she's younger than what I believed her to be. It was just the way that she was dressed that made me think she was older, and that she was a woman, but a really skinny woman. And when I took a double look, I noticed obviously that she was young. Now, I've never been in that club. Daniela didn't seem to batter an eyelid. And as I walked through the room, obviously I've took a look, and I clocked the woman because she got eye contact back with me. And I took a quick glance at the others, but I was focused on the girl's knee because I thought that is a really skinny looking knee. It didn't fill out the suspender properly. And that's when I took a double look, and I thought, oh, she's not a woman. Me with my naive young brain. Because you wouldn't expect that. And I thought, oh, this is all very sort of hidden. These people must get special treatment in there. You know, God knows what these two kids are there for. But you don't know. You thought, maybe, you know, rich businessman, he's got his kids with him, they shouldn't be in here, but they're with him. Who fucking knows, you know what I mean? But I did question it when we cut through the room and got to the corridor where we was going, because Daniela was talking about using the toilet, and now we know from the articles where the place was raided for drugs, at least I believe that was something to make a cover story for what was really going on now. Because obviously what I've seen as we walked through there is them miners shouldn't have been there, and they were dressed up. The girl was like Centrinians look, and she couldn't have been very old, and the boy was even younger. There's 5 adults in that room. It could be more than that, I don't think it was. And Ghislaine Maxwell was in there. Now when you look at articles of her, she was harbouring miners in 1994 in London. Yeah, and the police were monitoring her. So this was all known about. Now what does me is that these people are behind a wall that you wouldn't even know was there. And I'm accusing Prince Andrew of being in that room with Ghislaine that night. He would have been one of the ones to the left in a plain shirt, body going across, plain shirt. I don't claim to know who the others were, but at a quick glance I remember thinking to myself, they don't look like threatening sort of, I don't know why, just on a quick glance. I'm not sure if one of them could have even been Peter Nygaard. but I can't confirm that. But I know Andrew was there. Now, how did he get in that club? Well, there are pictures of that nightclub where it is absolutely gutted before they turned it into a club. So they had plenty of opportunity to build in these secret passages. But what I believe to be the case is that from Buckingham Palace, and we now know that there is a network of underground tunnels from there. We've always heard about it, but we've never actually had any proof. Well, that is until now, because we've got this article here. It's been well documented that the British royals have often had trouble escaping the paparazzi, making it difficult for the group to have private outings. However, over the years, a few enterprising royals clearly took matters into their own hands, creating a way to discreetly go out for a drink. The solution? A secret tunnel to a London bar. Now, is that not what I've been saying all along? A secret tunnel to a London bar. We know that Ghislaine Maxwell has been in Buckingham Palace, even with the likes of Kevin Spacey, sitting on the thrones having a laugh. So obviously it all goes off when, nighttime starts coming into night times, getting dark, people are at home, going to bed, getting up for work the next day. These lot are having their mad nights and going to a London bar. Well, Princess Eugenie's husband, this is Prince Andrew's daughter, Princess Eugenie's husband reveals secret tunnel from St James's Palace to a London cocktail bar. So, not only St James's Palace, but we know that there's tunnels now from Buckingham Palace also. It's been confirmed. And why would there not be one from Buckingham Palace, but there is to St James, from just St James's Palace to a cocktail bar? Now, I'm suggesting that there is a tunnel that goes directly from, not what they're talking about here, possibly, that, yeah, they're probably, Duke's Bar and all the rest of it, probably. But what I'm saying is that there is a tunnel that goes to Brown's nightclub, the Red Rooms, from Buckingham Palace. And what we find is, if we go over here for a minute, I've been looking on these, how's it going everyone, you right now? Hello there, how are you? I've been looking on this site here, Ian Visits. Now I don't know if this is going to let me scroll in browser mode, but if I'll just read this bit for you. There are many rumours of secret tunnels and facilities under London operated by the government, and while the vast majority of the rumours are just wishful thinking, various stories of a secret tunnel network under Whitehall are based on very real and are based on a very real and substantial tunnel. During World War II, the number of telecoms exchanges in London was quite limited, and one of the main exchanges was based in the City of London, quite some distance from Whitehall, as above ground phone lines was out of the question. A hybrid network was created. So I'm going to see if this is going to let me interact and scroll. No, it's not. Alright, it's not going to let me scroll, that one. So, but what I'm saying is it's well documented. Yeah, so if I go back to here, let's see what we got here. Right, this now, on the let's see if I can make it smaller so you can see underneath the article. Right, this here is a tunnel network under Covent Garden. And that's what this, it says it underneath it. If I could show you the article properly, it won't let me on there. It won't let me scroll, it won't let me do anything. But this photograph here, this is a tunnel underneath Covent Garden. Right, so it does go under Covent Garden. And we have got a tunnel network underneath Buckingham Palace. We've got a river under Buckingham Palace, for God's sake. And where's it go? to Hampstead. And where else do those rivers go? To Camden. Look at the underground catacombs that Paul Cook was talking about. Like, you've got a whole subterranean world going on underneath there that they've built these skyscrapers over and everything. Whole subterranean world going on underneath. Child trafficking and moving without being seen is not a problem for these people. And this is an underground tunnel there. That's under Covent Garden. So that is probably what it would have looked like when Andrew came through there to get into the basement of Brown's nightclub, the Red Rooms, to use the Red Rooms, which was a secret club within a club behind a fucking secret wall that no one would have even known was there, except I got a glimpse of it and saw it and was taken through there. And once we did cut through these people's room, we got into a corridor, and that corridor was all red velvet walls, closed red lighting, and that there was bedrooms off the left and the right. Or it could have been just off the left, I'm not sure. Could have been, but it was bedrooms. And the doors were open, there was no one in them, but the beds were made, and it was like what you hear about at the Groucho Club, that there's all bedrooms in it. For what? And these bedrooms were off of a room, and I can show you a picture of what that room looked like that we cut through. I've shown you a video of it's a lot like the end of my front room. You have seen it. But I've got some pictures, because I was looking for stuff to jog my memory as to fully try and, because I can remember the layout. And if someone can find the videotape from that night, because someone's got it, of me being taken through there, because there's absolutely no way they wasn't filming up there. Of course they are, they'd be used for blackmail. I'll have to see the videotape. You see me walk through, go, sorry, take a double look like that, and then get in the corridor and stop and go, what's that all about? But we had to keep it moving. But obviously me stopping and asking went round, because John Harris asked me about it in 2014. Late 2014, I think it was. You've seen something, mate. I don't know where you was, but you was in a nightclub somewhere, and you've seen a secret door opening, and you've been in there, you've seen something that you shouldn't have done. Right? Where was that? I don't know. See, what they was doing was scrambling to find out if I remembered. And I do remember, because Daniela tried to jog my memory and plant Simon Cowell and Sunita in there. But it wasn't them in there. It weren't a black woman. It wasn't Simon Cowell and Sunita. It wasn't. Anyway, this photograph that you can see here, this is an underground tunnel in Covent Garden. So they exist underneath them clubs. And then I don't know if this one's going to let me interact with it. Hopefully it will. Here we go. So if we can just scroll that. There we go. Right. I don't know if it's going to let me keep scrolling it. Royal mystery exposed. Secret river underneath Buckingham Palace. Flooded residents. A secret river that runs underneath Buckingham Palace, which was once part of a mysterious set of underground waterways, sparked concerns after it caused flooding inside its kitchens. This has been recently updated, Monday the 11th of January, this story, so it's not been touched recently. I'm just trying to see if we can interact with this page again and see if it will let me scroll up a bit more. It's not letting me. Maybe if I refresh the page it might. We'll refresh it and we'll try and go up a bit more. Here we go. It's bloody advertisements. Here we go. Historians have detailed how more than a century ago, dozens of canals and rivers used to flow right across London, many of which are now plunged to the depths of history, from St Pancras to Westminster. The series of waterways have since been blocked up, a bit like what we see in the underground catacombs on Paul Cook's video, under Camden. Breeze blocks down there. Part of it was breeze blocked up. I showed it to Nikki Cooper, she spotted it and said there's something fucking wrong now. Series of waterways which have since been blocked up, with the rivers now hidden from public eye underneath, there you go, skyscrapers and busy roads. Yet one that still exists continues to run directly underneath the Queen and Prince Philip's capital home at Buckingham Palace. So, not only have we got a tunnel network underneath Buckingham Palace and going off to the likes of Covent Garden, St James's and cocktail bars around that area, but we've got a river that runs under there. That's convenient, isn't it? It was very convenient that Tom Watkins, my ex-manager, the rapist, the child trafficker, new child traffickers and paedophiles, absolutely no doubt about that, provable. He had a canal running right out the side of the front of his house in 15 Maida Vale, West London, West 2. And then when he moved from there, and he filled in his swimming pool with concrete in Maida Vale, next to the church, number 15, right next door to Lulu. He filled in his swimming pool and turned that into bedrooms down there. And then he moved to Winchelsea Beach, near Hastings. And he had 2 properties there, 3 I suppose if you include in the pub that he bought, called The Ship. And Tom's house backed right up onto the sea. And it was even noted on Grand Designs, which has been taken down now, which you can't find, about the big white house, the white box, the big white cube box, which I also want to note is been made by Channel 4. So Henrietta Conrad and Hayley Barlow have done a fantastic job of hiding that episode, where Tom Watkins on there mentions that he wanted to move to Hawaii. Yeah, he wanted to move to Hawaii. And if I remember rightly, after our first tour of going to Far East Asia and Australia and wherever else they fucking sent us off for 6 weeks on our first tour, at the end of that tour, I was supposed to go on holiday with the rest of the boys, and I didn't go because I wanted to go home. We'd been away 6 weeks. And that holiday was in Hawaii. I'd like to know what went on that holiday in Hawaii, because I'm now starting to see the size of this child trafficking ring and the people that all know each other and that are involved with one another. And it's not a far stretch to think that people like Tom Watkins knew people like John Podesta, Hillary Clinton, Clintons, Epstein, Savile, Prince Andrew. I didn't know that Daniela Westbrook was going to Royal Garden parties at the age of 7, and that her mum used to be a Playboy bunny. All of that was kept from me. I didn't know that. And if you check out James English, you'll see that Daniela has admitted all of this, what we've seen. She hasn't named the names, but she does say, I've reported everything to the police that I know. Well, we'll have to take her word for that, because I've asked the police, and they said that she's never made any complaint. Nothing that they can find anyway. So it's clear to me that Daniela has got a history with people from the royal family. Prince Andrew, because Daniela knows Ghislaine Maxwell. 100%. Didn't batter an eyelid when she walked me through the red rooms that night. There's 2 miners sitting over there. And the only reason I clocked it was because of the fucking knee. Otherwise I'd have walked right through there and I wouldn't have even known. It's only because I clocked the knee on that girl and I thought, that's so fucking skin. Took a double look and it was like, oh, she's not a woman. And then went to question it, but had to keep walking. And then the place gets raided for drugs. At least that's the mainstream article, which I've got. I've got them all. But this one is one of the most important ones to me. Because this one here states, about halfway down, royalty, actors and pop stars were given exclusive access to a VIP room at the club where the drug was freely consumed. They're talking about cocaine. And it wasn't just cocaine that was being freely consumed there. I suspect. Adrenochrome, all sorts. What, what sort of things do you need a secret room behind a wall that you wouldn't even know was there for? What do you need that for? Why not just use the VIP room at the club? This weren't even in the club. This was behind a wall that no one would fucking know was there, with bedrooms off of it. It's clear what was going on now, and this is what they didn't want me to fucking remember or find out. But when I did, they had a full story ready to try and implant in my brain. And Daniela was going to enforce that, except it didn't work. And then I turned and put it on her, and she's run away. Calling me a paranoid coke freak. Sorry, love, who ended up back in fucking rehab again? Not me. You're protecting Prince Andrew. This Virginia Roberts story in America is coming to nothing. The real story is over here. I can't believe it either, that that's what the actual truth is, but that is what the actual truth is. Princess Eugenie's husband let slip royal secret booze tunnel beneath the palace. No, he's let it slip. I mean, fucking, I was only talking about this a few days prior to this coming out, and then he comes out with this. And it's Prince Andrew's daughter's husband. Why would Prince Andrew's daughter's husband do this? Well, they got this story ready anyway. They're calling it a booze tunnel. A fucking booze tunnel. There's no mention of the river running under there either. A royals only underground tunnel beneath London streets. So I ask you, is there a tunnel from Belgravia cutting right through Buckingham Palace and going straight to Covent Garden? Or is there just a tunnel from Buckingham Palace going to Covent Garden? And off to St James's there, you can see St James's just about halfway across, just above there. Right, well, he's saying that there's one from there, from the palace to there. That's about halfway between where we're going. So I take it carries on up to... Well, it does carry on up to Covent Garden. I just showed you pictures. Here's an underground... look. So under Covent Garden, once you get up there... Is this going to load? Here we go. It's loading now. We know that that's under Covent Garden. That is under Covent Garden. And I think there was another picture. I'll dig it out. I've got it. I think I screenshotted it. That is under Covent Garden. So that picks up the tunnel network from Buckingham Palace and St James's. And there's a river flowing under there. Here we go. The River Tyburn, which flows from the hills of Hampstead beneath the palace, before joining the River Thames in Westminster. Passes under the courtyard. Under the courtyard, you know. South wing of the royal residence. Under the courtyard of the south wing of the royal residence. The rivers were originally buried as a result of the disgusting sewage smell that was regularly inhaled by the... It's not giving me the rest of it, it won't let me scroll. But there's proof. There's a river that flows straight underneath there from the hills of Hampstead. Hampstead Heath. A lot of toilet around there, don't they? Ain't that Puddock's area? There are many rumours of secret tunnels and facilities under London operated by the government. Secret tunnel network under Whitehall are based on very real and substantial tunnel. It's all there. It's all there. I know what I think. I just wanted to point that out because I just thought fucking, you know, it's clear as a bell, innit? You know what I mean? You can take Ghislaine must be getting them. Her place was being watched. There's got to be an underground tunnel network going from Ghislaine's to the palace. 100%. If she's on good enough terms to be able to go in there with Kevin Spacey and sit all over the thrones and that and take the piss, it's pretty safe to assume that just because we don't know these people personally, that we think that they carry on a certain way. They don't. They're bad people. They use them tunnels 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, going through there, taking kids through. I mean, there's a Savile on is it Michael Parkinson? One of them, years ago, talking about taking a kid in to Buckingham Palace, to Prince Philip, going in the palace and going behind the door and what? This guy's a fucking DJ, like. It's all very odd, but I think it's all starting to come out now. I know what I think. Secret tunnels. Let me bring up the article. If I can bring up the full article. Transport, electric cable pulling tractor in side shaft at Covent Garden. There's a side shaft. Right, let me bring this one up, Sean. I'll take a picture of it. It's about there. I'll show you what I mean. Desktop screenshot. Alright, here we go. Have a look. Transport, electric cable pulling tractor in side shaft at Covent Garden. Yeah. So this shit is actually fucking there. Imagine how many kids have gone through there. Can you fucking imagine? Being brought in by sea and by river, straight into the courtyard. Who the fuck would know? And you can get them out. Who the fuck would know? No one. So that's under Covent Garden. That is there. Side shaft, Strand. You've got an underground now. That must be Strand. Of course, mate, you can only imagine, can't you? Belgravia at Covent Garden. I'm pretty sure that thing's going to run from there. I think there's something special about that mews where she lives. And the reason I think that is because obviously there's other people in Epstein's Black Book there. Henrietta Conrad, Channel 4, Hayley Barlow, one of the women that sent the email round that proved my hacking, who worked at the News of the World, I think still now is Director of Communications at Channel 4, and her name was Hayley Barlow. And she will know Henrietta Conrad. And it's just funny that someone in the link, Hayley Barlow, I've got a case against, which I have. I fucking have, whether she likes it or not, don't give a fuck. She will know Ghislaine Maxwell very well, and Henrietta Conrad, and I think they're all in this. They're all in it. Especially coming from the News of the World, and then your Channel 4 director. I mean, you know, you got to be well trusted, ain't you? And then Channel 4 are the ones that have put out Grand Designs, the big white box, Tom Watkins's build, where, you know, he had a lot of concrete poured, putting basements in, building his Bauhaus recreation, square box, white box, so he can put all his wonky art in it, his wonky paedophilic art, and be backed right up on the sea. You could literally pull up on a boat, get out on the beach, go in fucking Tom's back garden. The geezer even had got a septic tank out there and everything. He'd get rid of bodies and everything. There'd be nothing left. Nothing left. Let me see if I can find them pictures for you. Because they're all here. I've got them all. You know, it's these type of people. Not the bloke there on the top right. He's okay. He's the one telling you about it. This Mickey Mouse symbolism. The battered mouse, they call it. Mickey Mouse, very, very prevalent throughout this whole paedophilic world. Massive reference to big, square, white Bauhauses, the art world, Mickey Mouse, royals, nightclubs, and child trafficking. All connects, all of it, the whole thing. Even me getting arrested, right, over something that looks like, oh, he's being a pain online. This is how they make it look. But really, the woman, this woman here, NCA, National Crime Agency, EncroChat intelligence officer at the centre of Live Intercept Legal Challenge, gets OBE. She got an OBE. National Crime Agency. You know, the people that go to Ian Puddick's pop-up gym bar in 2018. And look at her name. Emma Sweeting. What was the arresting officer when I was kidnapped from my door? PC Sweeting. And they're both from the Essex area. Well, if that's his sister, or his sister-in-law, or his wife, she's got an OBE. Where'd you get them from? The Queen. And isn't it funny that someone related to her, who's got an OBE, called Sweeting, arrests me? You remember this? This is it. This is it, everyone. This is it. This is it. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. They're here again, everyone. They're here again. They're here again. They're here again, everyone. They're here. Mate, can you not touch this, please? Right, listen, you lot are freaking me out, man. What are you doing? I'm having a chat, but please don't...
Right, you don't lose things, mate.
Right, him.
We're going to chat about it in your house.
No, you can't go. Why do you want to break in my house? Right, him now. His name's Sweetin. And her there, her name's Sweetin. And she's on the honorary list for an OBE 2021. And they kept her name off of it because she was doing this Encro chat thing. And also, Sweetin here, on the right, was going to do this to me. Now, he's connected to her, she's got an OBE, so she's now got a royal connection. And Sweetin over here on the right is coming arresting me over some bullshit. And it was bullshit because it didn't amount to anything. But he's connected to her and she's connected to the Queen. Puddick is buying me equipment to film fake Fernbridge witnesses who are going to accuse Prince Andrew and Prince Charles. And he works for the Queen. So, you tell me that royalty who was in the nightclub ain't Prince Andrew. And the Queen's protecting him because it's her favourite son. And I'm the problem. I'm actually the problem. I mean, let's look at a clip of what Ian Puddick tried to do to me for the Queen. Because if you think I think anything different, Ian, you're off your nut, mate. It's bloody obvious what's been going on. Now check this.
Members of the Special Branch and Security Service had sat in on interviews with you along with the Metropolitan Police.
At certain times, not everything. At certain times,
only certain times. And it was because of the sensitivity of the...
Yeah, when we came to the interviews like around royalty or something, because I went to a ship, a big Royal Navy aeroplane carrier.
Yeah.
And when I was a young thing, I was taken
don't go
there. We won't go there now.
No. But what I meant is the sensitivity of the information, so your prominent MPs,
but
prominent
information
businessmen.
like that and stuff, sensitive.
Yeah.
And
I think we better leave the helicopter pilot out of this.
No, fine.
Right. So stuff like that was being done in front of me because I'm supposed to believe Andrew and go running out there with a story about Prince Andrew that wasn't real to counteract this one that I am telling you that is real. Because Andrew Ash there, he was the prototype for the guy that you saw get put away. Ixaro Nick went to prison for 18 years for supposedly lying about VIP Westminster paedophiles. Now this guy's done exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. And I'm going to prove it to you. Right. Watch this.
The people that you were told, one of the people you told to the police was Leon Britton, that's the name of the case.
yeah.
He'd been abusing your parties in London. And there were other senior MPs as well.
There's an MP called. There's a Civil Fullsmith, yeah.
Yeah.
Raymond runs a few pubs for him, but who I lived with and everything, and we've done a few pubs for him, like.
Yes, getting back, I want to get back to Leon Britton because I know from what the information Settle came to me for, there's one surefire way of identifying Leon Britton above anything else. Do you want to tell James what that is?
His birthmark
His birthmark. And where was his birthmark?
on his I don't want to stand up because I'm out of shot.
Just
Sort of on the thigh, just
on the thigh.
Right, so you heard that. He's done exactly the same thing as what Ixaro Nick has done. And Ixaro Nick went to prison for 18 years. Now, what you've got to imagine was supposed to happen with me, with Andrew there, who's accused Prince Andrew, Prince Charles, and many, many others. You heard him there, Leon Britton allegation, abused him at parties. So much so that the BBC got involved, right, in this, which I'm not surprised with. I'm not surprised considering it's Alan Yentob. The BBC, and Alan Yentob has got friends who are in with my ex-manager, so that's how I never got Radio 1 plate ever again. The BBC got involved and did this with Andrew, right, who's already been on the front page of the Express, right? He's already been on the front page of the Express 2014 January as Andrew Ash. With all these allegations that have been given to the Express newspaper, they put him on the front fucking page. Now I'm asking, where's Andrew Ash? Because you had Bill Maloney and Chris Fay, who were being guided by Ian Puddick, who worked, and probably still works, for the Queen. And I was involved in that. They was involving me in that so that Andrew could spill his guts in front of a newspaper. I see the article go in, and then I was supposed to go out there and spill these stories about Prince Andrew to back him up for later on, because they knew what was coming with this Virginia story, which even that, they knew that was coming, so that is even planted. Whilst they have different sources hanging around me, like John Harris, Daniela Westbrook, Bill Maloney, all fishing for what does he know? What does he know? John Harris, you've seen something, mate. In a nightclub, I don't know where you was, but you seen, I can't remember, where was I, Stringfellas or what? Can't remember. I couldn't remember at the time. You got Bill Maloney in the background, that's Ghislaine Maxwell, showing me the picture of, you know, the famous picture now with Andrew in it and the girl, Virginia, taken by Epstein allegedly, right? You've seen it. I put myself in a photograph with Daniela for a laugh. What was my point? Anyway, so this is what the BBC did with Andrew Ash in 2016, 2 years later.
I didn't meet Darren, but I'm on my way to see another man who's been talking to Exero and says he suffered abuse over many years. We're calling him David.
Why?
I became just nothing. I became abused. I became just cheap. Cheap. Sex is cheap, like just slagging me off. Just like selling me to the highest bidder. I was more vulnerable then than I was today because I couldn't read properly or write.
David started making claims about VIP paedophile abuse in 1990. He'd met Chris Fay at a support group, and he says he was encouraged to name names.
Right, so this is where
I don't
you
know.
know.
Chris got me into saying names.
Right.
It was done over a
One
period of
second,
weeks.
one second. Let me just
You know,
bring this back.
It was like done as a joke, suggestion to start with, but that suggestion became reality.
Right, so let's just go back. Right, so this is Chris Fay. So that's Andrew there, and we know that that's Andrew because we have his admission. David, Andrew is David. Andrew Ash is David from Panorama. Just go here quickly.
And then, when they did the Panorama thing, they chose the names and everything.
Yeah.
And the voice, I didn't know until they'd done what noise or voiceover or whatever, you know.
Right, let's go again.
And when they did the Panorama thing, they chose the names and everything.
Yeah.
And the voice, I didn't know until they'd done what noise or voiceover or whatever, you know what I mean, they were going to do.
I bet you said a completely different thing to what they dubbed over your voice.
Quite a bit of it was different. Well, some of it, they only changed a little bit, you know, like, they didn't put the whole thing there to start with, but they changed a little bit of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was changed, like, I'd say that maybe they might have took some bits from different bits, but if it hadn't been an actor's voice dubbing over type thing.
Yeah. Right, actor's voice dubbing over type thing, right? So let's just go back here now to the beginning. Here we go, actor's voice.
Just nothing. I became abused. I became just cheap. Sex is cheap, like just slagging me off, just like selling me to the highest bidder.
Right, so that's the BBC. And 2 years prior to that, Andrew is sitting there saying BBC members were at sex parties. No doubt he's talking about Alan Yentob and his mates, people like Camilla Batman Jelly and Conrad, what's his name? What's his fucking first name? Tom Watkins' mentor, whatever his name is. Yeah, he's Alan Yentob's mate. Camilla Batman Jelly and Tom Watkins both have houses called the White House. Bar houses. Both got the Mickey Mouse symbolism going on at every given opportunity. I mean, Camilla Batman Jelly's even got the paedophile symbol on around her neck, the fucking spiral. While she comes walking in like fucking, she's off the set of an Umbongo advert. It's a joke. And she looks like fucking Andrew Ash in drag. So, what I'm saying is, BBC's government, right? This is all theatre. And I've been pulled into the middle of it. And lucky enough, I've clocked what's going on. And I'm telling you, why are they doing all of this? What's the problem? You know, 3 different groups of people trying to find out what I know secretly and pretending not to even all know each other. I tried to get John Harris, right, the truther, free man on the land, John Harris, to talk to Bill Maloney on the phone. Because you got Bill Maloney saying he's supposed to be an anti-child abuse activist. So I thought you put an anti-child abuse activist next to a free man on the land who's telling you don't register your kids because then they don't own them. I thought these two need to talk and push out the same thing. But they both come back to me after having a conversation, pretending not to like one another. Bill Maloney's calling John Harris a nonce, and John Harris is telling me I'd stay away from him if I was you, mate. Right? And I thought John was all right. But even John Harris pulled a funny move. Let me see if I've got that. Just local. John Harris, phone call. John Harris is dead. Right, let's bring this up.
Listen, I've got something that you might be interested in.
What's that?
Well, I know a bloke, right, who, that's stuff to say yourself, but I know a bloke who allegedly is one of Prince Philip's love children, who was...
Right, you need to hear that again, right? This is one of the last conversations I have with John Harris, right? And you can hear him here trying to offer me an ex-military guard who was supposedly a love child of Prince Philip, and he wants to talk to someone, and John's recommending me. So John's catering to my ego. Oh no, I'll make you feel important. I said, Bill Murray, don't know what he's talking about, I'll get him to talk to you. But don't forget, John Harris is the one that told me, you've seen something, mate. Next minute, he's trying to palm me off with fucking someone who's a satanic ritual abuse survivor and a love child of Prince Philip. This is in 2015. Right, and then shortly after this, John supposedly dies, commits suicide. Although his wife tells me he was found in a bedsit with a bag on his chest. Not over his head, on his chest. So is that not murder? Or ain't he dead? But listen to what he tries to offer me once the shit's hit the fan and they know that I'm onto them.
And I've got something that you might be interested in.
What's that?
Well, I know a bloke, right, who, that's stuff to say itself, but I know a bloke who allegedly is one of Prince Philip's love children, who was involved in satanic rituals.
Right.
He seems he's an ex-Grenadier god. He seems quite adamant that all this is like sort of kosher.
Yeah.
And how this come about is, I've known him for a while, I knew his story for a while, but I didn't really take much notice of it. But today he said, I'm going to get in contact with Paul Maloney. And I said, I don't advise you do that. And he kind of looked at me and says, well, I don't know who to trust. I said, well, seriously, if you can take my advice, you don't want to trust Paul Maloney.
And then we can start keep pumping the truth out and hope we bring them down and hope we, to what you're saying, I think we've got to win. I think we'll win by default, John.
This, I just want you to know, is John Harris's last interview you can hear in the background now, and he's talking to a guy called Graham Hart, spelt H-A-R-T. Just like Christina Joanna Hart, who worked for the News of the World, who was the first person to ask me about the Red Rooms, even though I told her, don't ask me about that on air, and she did anyway. She's also the partner of Ben Proctor and Mazza Mahmood, who worked on the Jonathan King case when they exposed him for running a VIP child ring for VIP perverts. So all of these people that have been around me are all in the fucking know. They know about all of this shit firsthand. But they was put round me to find out what I know. And even trigger it to then lead me another way with it and tell me that it was someone completely different. And this has come from different groups of people. This has come from Ian Puddick's camp. Ian Puddick worked for the Queen. There's a royal connection. You've got Daniela Westbrook. She's going to royal garden parties at 7. So there's a royal connection. Then you got me being arrested by Sweeting, whose sister-in-law or wife or whoever is related. They come from the same area. I've checked it, yeah? Getting OBEs from the Queen. There's another royal connection. Then you've got John Harris trying to give me Prince Philip's love child, who's an ex-military guard, caught up in satanic ritual abuse, that John Wedger has been pushing with Bill Maloney. And John Harris even said to me, oh, we've had, that John Wedger driving up and down outside our house, isn't he, John? That's what his missus said to me. I was like, what? Heather, you said that to me 2 years ago. And then it was time for me to leave John's. Oh, anyway, we want to go to bed. And so we left. I was like, why has she said that? She said that to me. So they know Wedger. So they did know Bill. So Bill and John Harris talking on the phone and coming off like they hate each other, that was all planned because they couldn't be seen to be associated together. At least from our point of view. So you've got John Harris triggering the memory. You've seen something, mate. Don't know where you was in a nightclub somewhere. Well, how the fuck did he know that? Who told him? Yeah, but he's being cagey, so he weren't telling me, and I knew that. I could tell from the way he was asking the questions. He got him asking about this nightclub, so now I know it's about this nightclub event. Daniela pops up out of the blue randomly, pretends to be on my side, comes down in street with me, pretends to be on my side exposing paedophiles. She's not. She was another royal connection back to Prince Andrew and Ghislaine to fucking steer me down the wrong road. It didn't work. But she knows firsthand who it was in that room because she was the one that fucking took me through there. And she's admitted that it's all true. Twice. On 2 YouTube podcasts, twice. James English and Ben Hatchett. Right? She's admitted it. Then I get the article, royalty, actors, pop stars. I broadcast that on YouTube. That evening I go back, the article's gone. So someone's following my tracks around and clearing up. But I've got them and they're copied and they've been sent out. They're never going away now. Now, and for the past however long, I've been talking about the tunnels and that they must be doing this underground because Andrew, that night when he went in Browns and went to the Red Rooms, he couldn't have gone in through the front door. There's no point in going in through the front door and then hiding behind the wall. Nah. He wouldn't have gone in through that side door either because that's on the face of it. You'd still be seen going in. Or could be. Can't risk it. Now Prince Andrew's daughter's husband has come out and said there is a tunnel network from Buckingham Palace and they're coming out and saying that it's fucking booze tunnel. You might well call it a booze tunnel, but that's not what it's for. That is not what it's for, a booze tunnel. Mate, you send one of your drivers out, go down the off licence, you'd go, like, you'd send people out for a drink or whatever. Probably haven't sent it up by the caseload. No, it's not a booze tunnel. But it does go off to cocktail bars and dive bars in a West End town. Call the police, there's a nonce man around. And then you got Bill Maloney's camp, Puddick's camp. And Bill Maloney keeps showing me the famous picture of Andrew with Virginia and Ghislaine in the background, taken by Epstein in the flat in Belgravia. You've even got Andrew Ash bringing up Robert Maxwell being at parties. Ghislaine's dad. But no mention of Ghislaine. And even in Bill Maloney's Pie Mash interview with Andrew, when he does the list, yeah, we got Prince Andrew, Jeffrey Epstein, but no Ghislaine on now. So, you put it all together, and you've got Ian Puddick, right, doing communications with the Queen, personally, at Buckingham Palace. Puddick's old man. In 2013, Puddick tweeted, "We used to have the best police service on the world. Ex-counter-terrorism officer, my dad." So you got counter-terrorism involved. While Puddick goes out there playing the truther. Oh, you know, I was married and all that. Nah, mate, I'm not believing your story. You know what I think? I ain't believing that. I think that missus is a beard. That's my opinion. Knowing how the press works and having history in that world and seeing how they make shit up, I see through your shit. Other people won't because they ain't had the experience. But I see through you. Because I know how it works out there. I know it's all theatre. I've seen it firsthand. A few times. Even you showed me Ian with that fucking Andrew Ash. That was a big eye-opener. That showed me the lengths that the mainstream media, in conjunction with the BBC and the government and Parliament and the royals, will go to get to stitch people up and get them in trouble because they're frightened that I could get them in trouble. Well, it's gone there now. It's gone now. So like I said, we've got these different groups of people all trying to find out about the same thing. One's triggering the memory. You've seen something, mate. John Harris. Now dead. Puddick went to his funeral. Believe that? And then Puddick tweets me, don't know if you know, but John Harris has sadly passed away. Yeah, cheers, Puddick. Well, either you lot killed him, or you're hiding him to scare me, to make me think you're going around killing people and I'm going to be next. Whereas really, the truth of it is if you do anything, the fucking investigation's coming straight back on you and the rules, and you know it as well as I do. So you ain't doing shit. Trying to frighten me up and that, yeah? You ain't doing nothing, mate, because if you do, you're all caught anyway, and you don't know what I've got. You don't know what other stuff I've got. I will pull a little thing out every now and then that you ain't never seen before. There's fucking loads of them. Don't forget that. And people have got them. It's true. Try me, mate. You will lose. So, let's just play a little bit more of this video quickly.
Well, there is something that about 18 months ago, I was talking to my dear friend Brian, and I gave him a probability. Funny enough, I gave him two. I gave him one about himself, and I gave him one about something that's going on at this moment. And the one about himself, all three parts fell into place, which was quite fascinating, which he was a bit shocked about. And I said, well, no, I didn't predict anything. I just told you a probability.
Right, now bearing in mind this is 2015. Now listen to what comes up.
Something that could possibly happen. And the funny thing is, the other thing I told him was in multiple parts, and at this moment in time, every single part has dropped into place. So if I am correct in what I have concluded, then there is going to be a bit of a shake-up latter part of this year, early 2016. Definitely, without a doubt.
I missed that last part, John, because I was reading questions in the chat box.
There's definitely going to be a shake-up the latter part of this year or early into 2016.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
Right. Now, what do you think that was going to be?
I'm not going to say what I don't want to suggest. All I'm going to say is that the accusations towards Prince Andrew are part of it.
Yeah, I agree.
In a big way. And another gentleman is our old friend Tony Blair.
Yeah.
So if it's exactly what I sat at your table not a week ago and told you, if you remember right.
Yes, I do. I agree. I think you're
So
right.
you do know what I'm talking about. Obviously, everybody else doesn't.
Well, we do now. We do now. Now, how did he know that? How did John Harris know the bit of a shake-up that was coming? And that it was going to involve Prince Andrew? How would someone like John Harris know that? John Harris also told me I stayed at his house for a week when I was fucked. It was good of him. Got on well with him. But one night tells me that he's the real King of England, and his dad used to drive the Queen about. So if you want to take it that way as another royal connection, I don't doubt it, because look what he was trying to do there. Trying to give me the love child of Prince Philip, whilst later on in that interview there, coming out with, later on, end of 2015, 2016, going to be a bit of a shake-up. Then you look at the other party over there, which is Bill Maloney and Ian Puddick, who have been establishing themselves out there since around 2012. Well, a bit before that, actually. I've been told about 2009 with Bill Maloney. Puddick works for the Queen. Bill Maloney is taking me to Hull to film Andrew Ash, who's going to end up on the front page of the Express, accusing people. Female MP abused boy in care. That was the article. Went in the Express and the Mirror. Probably in other pages as well, but these ones, it went on the front pages. Especially the Express. And then at the Express, at the same time, we've got the man that hacked me working there, Robert Kellaway. Don't forget that. Because Kellaway, I'd just got his police witness statement from 2002, which proves that he's guilty of phone hacking, and he did know about Millie Dowler's hacking 3 months prior to him going to court in 2013. Right? And that weren't good times for the news of the world, because Kellaway's about to give evidence to the hacking inquiry, and I've just got his police witness statement that completely blows what he's about to say out the water. So they was on me hard. So I had that going on. But at the same time, I'm trying to help Bill Maloney and these lot, and they're stitching me up. And they're stitching me up for the same people. Well, pretty much there's a few people that are out for me, you know what I mean? Obviously the Royals, you got Murdoch, News International, the police, the CPS. There's fucking loads of them. Not to mention all the other fucking enemies. So, you've got all of these people, Bill Maloney, Ian Puddick, they're taking me to film Andrew Ash, who later on then 2 years later is going to end up on the BBC getting told that, oh no, to make it all up, it was Chris Fair. That's why you know, the fact that they're bringing Chris Faye into it, if you ever doubted that was Andrew, of course it is, because he brings up Chris Faye, talking about Leon Britton, and then what do? I show you the fucking Leon Britton allegation.
The people that you were told, one of the people you told to the police was Leon Britton, that's the name of the case.
Yeah.
He'd been abusing at parties in London. And there were other senior MPs as well.
There's an MP called, there's a Civil Fullsmith,
Yeah.
Raymond runs a few pubs for him, but who I lived with and everything, and we've done a few pubs for him, like.
Yes, getting back, I want to get back to Leon Britton.
Right. So, I want to get back to Leon Britton. That's Chris Faye. Now, let's go back to Panorama.
And then when they did the Panorama thing, they chose the names and everything.
Yeah.
And the voice.
Right, let's go back to Panorama.
I didn't meet Darren, but I'm on my way to see another man who's been talking to XRO and says he suffered abuse over many years. We're calling him David.
I became just nothing. I became abused. I became just cheap. Cheap. Sex is cheap, like just slagging me off, just like selling me to the highest bidder. I was more vulnerable then than I was today because I couldn't read properly or write.
David started making claims about VIP paedophile abuse in 1990. He'd met Chris Faye at a support group, and he says he was encouraged to name names.
I don't know how Chris got me into saying names. It was done over a period of weeks, you know. It was like done as a joke, suggestion to start with, but that suggestion became reality.
David told me he'd described a distinctive birthmark on one of his abusers.
I scribed a birthmark and a first name and scribed the person, and they said the surname and everything, and says that can only be him. Why should I doubt them?
The man who ended up being named was Leon Britton.
I believed it because I believed that. I don't know, just believed it. I couldn't say why I believed it. I believed it at the time.
Right, so that's his excuse. I don't know why, I just believed it at the time. But the other geezer, Nick from Xaro, for doing the same thing, has gone to prison for 18 years. Nah, he ain't in prison, that's a fucking lie. It's another crisis actor, just like Andrew here. Right? Why would you do an interview with the BBC when you're saying the BBC were at sex parties? That make any fucking sense? How did Bill Maloney know a year up front? So in 2014, actually, late 2014, Andrew is doing a hatchet job on me, you, John Wedger with Panorama. That's to frighten me. Not me, Bill Maloney or John Wedger's name comes up on Panorama. Only Chris Faye, who they was always going to hang it on. And then they come out with this story. Oh, Chris Faye was done for around 2012, spent a year in prison around the London Olympics for fraud on old people. Well, if that's true, and he did go to prison for a year in 2012 for fraud, right, which I don't believe, I think it's another made-up backstory, why is DCI Paul Settle going to Chris Faye right afterwards then for information about Leon Britton's birthmark, which don't fucking exist, by the way. The birthmark comes from a politician that the News of the World was stinging in 1990 in a gay brothel in Amsterdam, and they used Andrew to do it. So the News of the World have used Andrew before. And the newspaper that's conducting the interview that I'm filming, The Express, Robert Kellaway's working there, the bloke that hacked me. I mean, for fuck's sake. So they're all in on it together. They've all got a vested interest in coming for me. Tom Watkins, the newspapers, News of the World, Murdoch, yeah, the police, the royals, fucking all of them. Fuck you. You've been caught out. You've been worked out. I've fucking caught you all. You've been caught. There's no getting round it. Now you're going to have to explain yourself to the public one day about what the fuck you've done. And the child abuse that you've been actively covering up with all your fucking resources like the BBC. Nice one, Alan Yentob. How's your mate Camilla Batman Jelly? You sure that ain't Andrew dressed up in fucking drag? Because it fucking looks like it to me, mate. So, you've got these different groups of people. You've got John Harris, the truther, who I became friends with, right? Just before he so-called dies. He's trying to offer me Prince Philip's so-called love child, who was involved in satanic ritual abuses, which fits in lovely with John Harris's, John Wedge's little story, who's also a friend of Bill Maloney, who is under Ian Puddick, whose dad is ex-counter-terrorism, and Puddick works for the Queen on communications directly with her at Buckingham Palace, but yet puts out stories in 2012 how he's just a man with a van plumber and his wife cheated on him, and now, because of it all and the police corruption involved in it, trying to plant crack cocaine in his fucking house. I mean, what a load of fucking wet shit that is. Who makes these stories up for you lot? MI5, MI6. Who fucking puts these things together? You're shit. That is so unbelievable. All of it is unbelievable. You've only got to spend a bit of time on it. You know, it's like what Ian Puddick said to me. You know, and anyone could tell if you speak to Andrew for 2 minutes, he'd admit to being the Yorkshire Ripper. And it's like, well, then why was you tweeting that fucking Fernbridge have now spent 70 hours with Andrew? Now they spent 100 hours with Andrew. If you can tell in 2 minutes, how comes fucking Special Branch and all these other people can't? You're all over the place. All over the place. And that's because you're fucking liars. And you are actively covering up for Prince Andrew and the royals and all the VIP fucking child abuse perverts. You are. And you was trying to find out what I knew through Daniela, John Harris and Bill Maloney. Bill Maloney done nothing but kept showing me this fucking photograph. That's Ghislaine Maxwell. Obviously me and Daniela weren't in it. I fucking put us in it just to show, yeah, we can be in it as well for a laugh. Right? Because it is funny, because this is bullshit, this is. How everyone's fucking falling for it. That's what I don't fucking get. We're getting drawings of Ghislaine Maxwell in prison. She ain't in fucking prison. Do you think she's in prison? Right, so she ain't got fucking some of Epstein's videos, and if you lock her up, she's going to drop them. Nah, mate, she ain't in prison. Right? Get fucking real. Get real. Get fucking real. The realest thing you got is me, and I've got him cornered in the fucking red rooms. Now I've got proof that there's underground tunnels that go directly from Buckingham Palace straight to the fucking red rooms. Now tell me I'm wrong. I've got news articles saying royalty, actors, pop stars. And then all the other newspapers just put actors and pop stars. Right, so they're covering up. They knew he was going to get fucking done. John Harris knew. How did he know in 2015 that there was a bit of a shake-up coming? How does he fucking know? So he knew, and he was on me trying to stitch me up. Bill Maloney and Puddick and them lot knew, so they're trying to fucking stitch me up. Yeah, and they needed me to get a story wrong about Prince Andrew so that they could say, look at these truthers, these people online. They're fucking idiots. They believe anything. Yeah, look what Brian Harvey's done. You was going to use me as a fucking scapegoat again. And I fucking stopped you in your tracks. Good. You fucking pieces of shit. Because you can do whatever it is you're doing to me, because you're going to do it anyway. But the worrying fucking aspect here is that you're all covering up child abuse. Yeah? That's what you're doing. You're covering up child abuse. For having a pop at me, You're covering up child abuse and phone hacking and police corruption and murder and rape of a band member. You are fucking scumbags. You are there's no other way to put it. You are fucking scumbags. That's Ghislaine Maxwell. I know who she fucking is, but Bill kept wanting to point it out because he wanted me to turn around and say to him, Bill, mate, I saw her one night in the Red Rooms. Prince Andrew was there. That's what they was waiting for, yeah? And you didn't get it. You didn't fucking get it because I knew you lot were walking me into a fucking trap. And once I pieced it all together, you know, you need me to get a story wrong involving Prince Andrew. That's pretty fucking clear to me. Yeah, it is one example.
Members of the Special Branch and Security Service had sat in on interviews with you along with the Metropolitan Police.
At certain times, not at everything. At certain times, yes.
Only certain times. And it was because of the sensitivity of the...
Yeah, we came to the interviews like around loyalty or something, because I went to a ship, a big Royal Navy aeroplane carrier.
Yeah.
And when I was a young thing, I was taken
don't go there.
We won't go there.
No. But what I meant is the sensitivity of the information, so your prominent MPs,
But
prominent
information
businessmen.
like that and stuff, sensitive and...
I think we better leave the helicopter pilot out of this.
No, fine. I think I know who you mean.
Well, we know that Andrew was a helicopter pilot, and Fergie, weren't she a helicopter pilot? Well, she's borrowed money off of fucking Epstein as well. That's what Prince Andrew said he was going over there to talk about, really, originally. That's what it was meant to be about. You know, it was meant to be about that thing. Yeah? Oh, what else we got here? What else we got? I just want to show you what they try to walk me into, and how convenient it would have been for Prince Andrew to have this come out in 2014, 2015 to squash the story that was about to come up with this Virginia Roberts, which I believe is them still. And it's going to amount to nothing. Just because they dragged it out over 10 years, you've all fucking fallen for it. You've all judged Andrew already. I mean, you're right, but it's not going to end up being about fucking 17-year-old girls, mate. That's not what I saw in the Red Rooms. I saw two minors, a little girl and a little boy, who shouldn't have been there behind a secret wall in a fucking club. And that is what your real problem is. Not Virginia Roberts, who's already been paid out. That's what they're going to say. She's already been paid once. What are you doing now? Right. I'm going to prove to you once again now. You've heard John Harris telling you there's going to be a bit of a shake-up, yeah? Well, Bill Maloney knew as well, right? January 12th, 2014. Check it. Actually, no, leave it. We'll go again in a minute when he's sat down and he's ready.
Alright? Now, listen to me. This man, he's not going to get you into trouble. I'm not going to get you into trouble.
There's things
because, hang on. Because some of this that we're getting on this visit may come out later on, when it's all over. So at least we've got it.
Right, explain that to me. I'll play it again. Actually, no, leave it. We'll go again in a minute when he's sat down and he's ready.
Alright? Now, listen to me. This man, he's not going to get you into trouble. I'm not going to get you into trouble.
There's things
because, hang on. Because some of this that we're getting on this visit may come out later on, when it's all over. So at least we've got it. I'll give you the Lucian
one, you know.
Alright, bro? Do what you got to do.
Andy,
leave him alone.
This is coming.
No, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
We're normal people.
Mick, leave him alone. Alright? You talk to this man, all you got to do, bruv, is tell the truth. Look at me, look in my eyes. You trust me, alright? You trust me?
I trust you. You wouldn't have would. Okay.
Do what you got to do. I'll do what I've got to do. You do what you got to do.
You see?
Oh, they'll bang us up in the same fucking cell. Alright? We'll get on well together. Don't worry about it.
What a weird thing to say. What a fucking weird thing to say. You do what you got to do, I'll do what I've got to do. Or they'll bang us up in the same cell together. Don't worry about it. What's that mean? What, if you don't do this job, get this right, they'll bang you up in the same cell? What? I mean, who are they using here? Are they crisis actors, or are these people that the government have got things on and they just send them out there to pretend to be victims and child abuse activists and that? Because they're not real, so they're either crisis actors or police grasses. Some of this we're getting might come out later on, when it's all over. When it's all over. Want to hear it again?
Actually, no, leave it. We'll go again in a minute when he's sat down and he's ready.
Alright? Now, but listen to me. This man, he's not going to get you into trouble. I'm not going to get you into trouble.
There's things
hang on. Because some of this that we're getting on this visit may come out later on, when it's all over. So at least we've got it.
Some of this might come out later on, when it's all over. But at least we got it. So, it's going to be all over soon, is it, Bill? One day when it's all over. When what's all over? This Prince Andrew thing? Because that is what this has all been about. That's what this has all been about. All the parties involved have all got royal connections somewhere. Even the police that come round and do me for fucking Andrew Guyan, who's in with Puddick, who's already had my computers taken for malicious communication, who I reported first, both him and Anne, and nothing got done. Yet Sweeting comes round, waking me up out my sleep, fucking annoying me, telling me, oh, I need to be protected from myself now, we got to come in and get ya. Sweeting, who's got family, who's in the National Crime Agency, running EncroChat, the head of the fucking National Crime Agency, who goes to Puddick's pop-up gym bar, all connected. Who have they all got in common? She got an OBE? Well, Queen. Why would the Queen be doing this? It's ridiculous. Puddick goes on Sean Atwood's. You know, conspiracy involves me, you, the Queen. No, mate. You're the one that involved the Queen. You're the one on the video online talking about you work for the Queen. I thought you were supposed to be a plumber. How many plumbers work for the Queen, do communications directly for the Queen at Buckingham Palace? Answer me that, please. You can't. And even you, Puddick, you're in with Neil Wallace. Neil Wallace is on my phone hacking evidence with Andy Coulson and Tom Crone and Hayley Barlow. Yeah, Channel 4, Hayley Barlow, who works with Henrietta Conrad, who lived on the same road as Ghislaine Maxwell, who was at the nightclub at the Red Rooms with Prince Andrew. Get out of that. Get out of that. So where's he now? Andrew goes on the BBC, being called David, 2 years after being on the front page of the Express newspaper. The BBC, who Andrew says he sees at sex parties. Andrew does an interview with Panorama, the BBC. Who runs the BBC? Alan Yentob. Alan Yentob is partners with this woman here, Camilla Batman Jelly, the Angel of Peckham. Bongo. I bet she's got an arsehole like Teen Wolf. Where is Andrew Ash? And why have you all got the BBC in common? Because Camilla Batman Jelly is on a company with Alan Yentob called Keeping Kids Company that the government were funding. And they went to cut her funding off in 2013. And do you know what she said to the national newspaper? I know there's child abuse going on and I'm going to speak about it. Oh, switch her funding back on, please. Look at the cheeks coming from the glasses. Look at the eye line. Look at the side of the head through that glasses, yeah? Look at it on both pictures, either side. Just imagine Andrew in makeup now. A little bit larger. That's a more recent picture. One on the left. You can put contacts on. If you was to put makeup on him, that's how he'd look. You both know the BBC. Both covering up child abuse. Both have had experiences with Prince Charles. There's always a real connection. That's why we know who it is that you're protecting. And why you've held me down. Makes sense now. Don't pay him on the phone hacking. Slag him off. Tell the public that he's a nutcase. You went all out, didn't you? But now I know why you went all out. It was to protect him. So you went as far as setting up a fake story, getting it put in the front page of the newspaper, and then the rest of the information that didn't make it in the newspaper, you was hoping I was going to go out there and start accusing people, which would have given you exactly what you needed as the Virginia Roberts Giuffre story was up and coming, that clearly all of you knew about. John Harris knew. Didn't he? That was in 2015. Bill Maloney knew. January 2014. Some of this might come out later on, when it's all over. Because it was always going to be all over. They had to clear up this VIP child abuse ring. So what they did was they made up all these fucking fake truthers, including you, David Icke. This man here, Andrew Ash, has accused you, and you've said nothing about it. Nothing. You're in on it and all. Might have guessed, ex-BBC. What a fucking surprise. What a fucking surprise. And they took even longer unfolding David's plan, because they have him look like he's gone mad back in the early 90s, or 1990. Yeah? So they give him 30 years to get him up to legendary status with his predictions. Good at predicting stuff, you lot, aren't ya? Bill, some of this might come out later on, when it's all over. You know, John Harris. Oh, you know, fucking, I think there's going to be a bit of a shake-up. Latter part of 2015, early 2016. Really. Yeah. And then Daniela. She knows it's him and her. Fucking knows. Even her mum was working in Harrods, right round the corner from Ghislaine's. I know, because my ex told me. But even all that was put together and planned. The whole thing has been orchestrated. You lot have put years into my life holding me down, making sure I don't remember. And you thought I remembered, and you panicked and you sent Daniela in. And you instructed people like Bill Maloney and these lot to walk me down the path. And you lot thought you were so clever and convincing. And you weren't. Then, you even tried to help out old fucking Tom Watkins, didn't you? You even tried to throw a few red herrings in for him. There you go, look, there's Tom, there's Camilla Batman Jelly, aka Andrew Ash. Look at the signalling on the Mickey Mouse. You've seen the videos on the Mickey Mouse connection. You know it's all to do with child trafficking, basically, the battered mouse. Why are you throwing red herrings in there for Tom Watkins, Andrew? It's disgusting. And there's so much more I need to show you. I've got thousands upon thousands of screenshots. You know, I can connect any of this together for you. I mean, for example, you know, someone said, well, how does phone hacking fit in with child abuse, Brian? I don't understand. It's very confusing. Well, it's like this. My solicitor, who was dealing with my phone hacking from 2012 onwards, right? I told him what I was doing with Bill Maloney and fighting child abuse and all that. Clearly, everyone knows everyone. Because Richard Mallett, my solicitor, who beat the news of the world for me in 2002, although it wasn't even a real case and they orchestrated it all around me and made it look like, you know, I got not guilty. I was never getting a guilty anyway, because it was all a fucking stitch-up. Right? It was all a stitch-up, and Mallett was involved back then. I just didn't realise. So Mallett comes to me in 2012 and says, oh, I don't know if you know, but, you know, you could be involved in these phone hacking claims. You know, I've got all the transcripts and that. It can prove phone tapping. This is a slam dunk case worth millions. Do you want me to deal with it for you? Of course. I said, yeah. And at the same time when that's going on, I'm just about to meet Bill Maloney. Well, no, it was a year later, actually, because Mallett got my authority to go to the police on my behalf to see what they've got with regards to phone hacking on the 24th of the 4th, 2012. By September 17th, 2013, I'd had enough of Mallett ignoring me. And that's when I rung his office, and his T-boy sent me one of the police witness statements of the journalist called Robert Kellaway who hacked me. Except now, his police witness statements against me now proved phone hacking, and I wanted it. And I've been waiting a year and a half. The T-boy sent me it by mistake. I was never meant to get it. So anyway, this really should all be a separate issue to me meeting Bill Maloney and helping fight child abuse. But lo and behold, Andrew Ash, the witness that I'm filming for Bill Maloney, look what happens.
Simon Cowell.
Yes.
Max Bygraves.
Yes.
David Frost.
No.
Alan Wicker.
Yes.
Richard Mallett.
Yes.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Hear it again. This is a supposed list of abusers that abused Andrew, right? Alleged. Listen.
Simon Cowell.
Yes.
Just a small part of a very big list.
Max Bygraves.
Right, you see the first name we put on there? Check it.
Simon Cowell.
Right, now, he kept pushing the Simon Cowell thing because that was who Daniela was going to implant into my mind later on as who we saw at the Red Rooms. Simon Cowell and Sunita. No, it fucking wasn't. It wasn't a black woman. It was Ghislaine Maxwell. And I described her as looking a bit Cherie Blair at the time, right? If I had to explain her way, her face, her characteristics, sort of. Right? Done that years ago. How does my phone hacking solicitor turn up on a list from Andrew Ash, who alleges being abused by Westminster paedophiles? How does that happen? And how is it that the bloke that funded all of this interview that you see here, filmed by me, Ian Puddick, funded me equipment to film this guy specifically, who's going to accuse Prince Andrew and Prince Charles. But the guy that funded it works for the Queen and is instructing Bill Maloney there on the left and Chris Fay on the right to do all of this. And Ian Puddick is in with Neil Wallace, who's another one of the journalists that hacked me or took part in the whole thing. Now, do you think that's a coincidence? It ain't no coincidence. They're all protecting Prince Andrew. I just want to make sure that you fucking understand that.
Simon Cowell.
Yes.
Max Bygraves.
Yes.
David Frost.
No.
Alan Wicker.
Yes.
Richard Mallett.
Yes.
Ted Heath.
Yes.
Confirmed.
Okay. Yes means Andrew had sex with them. Confirmed means other victims have come forward and has been confirmed by NAPIC.
So, I hope that me showing you this has given you a bit of a better fix on some of the stuff that I've been putting out over the years, because it can be quite confusing. Well, it is confusing. But I think you're all starting to see where I'm coming from now. And this is not a joke. My life's still in danger. It's still in danger. And it's not a joke. You know, while I'm here, I might as well blow Andrew Guyan out the water as well. So the police officer in the recorded interview, the woman, Nancy, whatever she is, says to me, oh, you know, I've checked and that you haven't reported anything to anyone. You say you reported it to your local MP. Yeah? Right. What's that? I told you in the interview, I'll give you emails, screenshots, anything you want. Didn't I? Yeah, I did. Well, there it is. Now, I think you need to start acting on some of my allegations. Yeah? I think it's time we looked at some of mine now. I think we need to start talking about this place. There's a camera up there. See that there up on the left? You had a camera. Get the footage. Show me the footage of us walking in there that night. Find the footage. Show it to us all. Here's the glass stairs I walked up in the side exit there. Look at the artwork on the wall. Yeah? See it? Let me make it bigger. I need to make that bigger. Look at the artwork, man. That's in that club. Look at the fucking artwork. Yeah. This is where we came in. Yeah? Went up them glass stairs, yeah? Yeah. Pushing up the pyramid there. NSPCC, yeah? Doesn't do public displays of affection like kissing and so on and so forth. So on and so forth. There's Boris Johnson's missus. And here's that famous play I keep talking about. I mean, look. Alistair Crowley play as well. I mean, it doesn't get any worse. That's Mr. 666 the Beast. See how people can look for the public and then how different they can be behind closed doors. That's like two different people, isn't it? Wonder how the people would be if she come out looking like that on the left, giving speeches. Cognac, cunt and cocaine. And when the newspapers let little images like this slip in the newspaper, and there's stuff in the background, people don't normally pay attention to it. This means something. This stuff up here behind Millie in this picture, especially that one, that means something. I don't know what, but it means something. And it's fucking sinister. Now let me show you something else. Jimmy Savile with the Beatles. Right. There's Jimmy Savile with the Beatles. Another Crowley man. Another Crowley wizard. And make the Beatles do things like this. Yeah. Who done the artwork there? Marina Abramovich. I mean, why would you take pictures like that? I know someone who takes pictures like that. I just named her. Marina Abramovich. And who's she friends with? BBC, Alan Yentob. I mean, BBC even done a special on her. They took it down. Fucking disgusting. That's not art. They say art is fraught with danger. Oh, fucking there it is. That is not art. Let me show you that some of the biggest artists that have come out of the music scene in England and the world, all into Crowley. David Bowie there, into this Thelema religion. This bloke. Looks like Barbara Bush, innit? You know they're related. You just know they're related. And this guy's been everywhere. Beatles album cover. There he is. And what does this man believe in? Do what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. Here we go, here was the BBC special on Marina Abramovich, The Ugly Duckling, on the BBC. It's not up there now though. Wonder why. Piers Morgan's just recently been hired by Rupert Murdoch. And look who he knows. Like I said, man, everyone knows everyone. This one really brought it together for me. That really brought it together for me. We've got Esther Ranson on the left, Childline, who knew my ex-manager Tom Watkins, whose best friend was Jonathan King, who was done for supplying kids to VIP perverts. And here's Esther with Hillary Killam Clinton. This one really makes me laugh, this picture. Well, it don't make me laugh. It just is a fucking joke. And they're all in the club. God, fucking hell. Imagine that leering over you. Fuck me, man. Here's some paedophile symbols as recognised by the FBI. Symbols and logos used by paedophiles, or pedophiles as they call them in America, to identify sexual preference. See the boy lover logo there? And this blatant blue triangle one, that's like on the London Concrete Company. Let me just find something here. Oh shit. Oh dear. Oh dear. Wait till you see this. It's the London Concrete Company. Is it gonna let me refresh? Oh dear, London Concrete. So I suppose when they're doing all these underground fucking concrete cells for kids, I suppose you gotta have someone trustworthy on it, eh? Fucking hell. Fucking hell. This was found in Ghislaine's house. Nice. This is supposed proof of Virginia Roberts. Now, if I was going to fake a picture, I'd put a person in the foreground like that. I don't think that picture's real. I just don't think that's real. That doesn't look real to me. If that's supposed to be evidence of her being around him, I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. Prince Andrew's accuser. Fucking world's lost the plot. Don't believe me? London restaurant, Welsh food journalist, Fried, fucking, you're having a laugh at that name. Did you just fucking write it and then write it backwards as a last name? Gets an exclusive taste of London's latest gastronomic trend, human flesh. But, she asks, is cannibalism all it's cracked up to be? What? Fucking what? All it's cracked up to? Who said it was cracked up to be anything? Fucking hell. Food and drink, human flesh on the menu at London restaurant. What the fuck, man? I mean, how fucked up do you want to go? Look at this. Barnes & Noble Book Awards. Cannibal Club, specialising in the preparation of human meat. Cannibal Club brings the bleeding edge of cuisine to the refined palates of the cultural elite. This is real. Look, they put it in Book Awards, children's and YA winners. The fuck? How's the fucking menu at the Cannibal Club? Collaborating with visiting cooks from around the world, so some fucking nutcase with a knife just wants to pop in. Chef de cuisine Sophie Lafitte regularly updates her menu. Well, you don't, because this fucking menu's been the same for years. I ain't even going to repeat the menu. It's fucking filth. I ain't eating there again. Have you seen this shit? Chanel guillotine. What's that for? You want to talk about fucking trafficking? Here's what I believe's going on. Look at this company, Jubilee Sports Limited. Incorporated. Right? 1st of January 1970. JP Cord Limited. Right? JP Cord Limited. Jubilee Sports. JP Cord Limited. Right? Blaby Electrical. These are just some of the Islamic Art Consultants Limited. All in this JP Cord, right? Resigned directorships, 3,156. Total directorships. Oh, he's got a couple closed directors. Fucking what? Now watch this. Miss Joanna Sasha Collins, Mr. Levi Belfield, Director. JP Cord Limited, Director, 1996. 2 years after I saw Ghislaine at the Red Rooms. Levi Belfield and JP Cord Limited. Miss Joanna Sasha Collins, which other companies are there? International Moving Services Limited. That's Levi Belfield's girlfriend. Yeah? Now look at this. Mr. Levi Belfield. Same address as her. International Moving Services Limited. Since 96. Resigned in 99. Atlantis Ocean Air Limited. Well, that club got spun in 99. And I would reckon that that'd have something to do with that. International Moving Services Limited. With JP Cord, that's to do with Jubilee. Jubilee's royal. So is there a royal connection between Belfield and the royals? There's something. There's something. International Moving Services Limited. And International Moving Services Limited, right? Look when it was incorporated. Was Belfield even born then? So it ain't just about him on his own, is it? Oh no. Now the press could have found all this out in minutes. Here's Camilla Batman Jelly. I wonder if she's used International Moving Services Limited. Can you see round her neck? You see what she's got round her neck? Can you see that? Can you? Can you see that? It's a paedophile symbol, isn't it, Andrew? I mean, Camilla. God, do you know what? I really fancy a drink of umbongo. I don't know why. I just really got this craving all of a sudden. It's come out of nowhere. I fancy a drop of umbongo. Fuck. Just got this craving all of a sudden. Fucking don't know why. God, Camilla. She's got an arsehole like Teen Wolf. And she likes her art. She likes her quirky art. Just like someone else we know. Ah, Tom, there you are. There's my old manager with his quirky art. There he is. This is an early picture, but look in the background. Can you see the naked boy picture there? They're the ones I was telling you about. Oh, yeah. I'm going to find a better picture. Ah, Camilla, there you are. Right, now, Tom's got a white Bauhaus. Yeah? And he likes Mickey Mouse. And Camilla's got a Bauhaus, and she likes Mickey Mouse. And you're both paedophiles. You love that symbol. Right, now, this was Camilla's house. And Camilla's house was called the White House. And Tom's one is called the Big White House. Yeah, imagine that. And if you want some references as to why they love Mickey Mouse so much, the whole Disney 666 affair is there. It's always been there. You just didn't know where to look for it, that's all. It was always there. They was always putting shit like this in front of you. Yeah? You think that's by mistake? Just an accident? Genuine accident, that. Well, wasn't meant to look like a penis. I mean, if you look at Mickey backwards, look what it spells. Pretty sure they fucking know that. Here's Andrew, sorry, Camilla. And I didn't realise until I'd watched a couple of things that the no smoking sign is another signal in the paedophile world. You have a look at the video online, which has got Obama having dinner with Anthony Bourdain, who was killed. Celebrity chef was killed. And you've got this symbol in the background of him and Obama having a meal. It's no fumal sign, no smoking. But in their world, it's terminology for their child trafficking. Here's a clip from one of Tom Watkins' music videos with one of his other artists. Look, it's all kids in cages, dressed up as kids in cages. But when I looked at over here, I thought, why is there buckets hanging? And you know what that is? That's to catch the blood, isn't it? That's reference to catching the blood. All the kids' blood in the bucket. They're fucking sick, these people, man. You don't realise it at the time, you just think, oh, they know what they're doing, it's all arty, they've never made videos before. They know exactly what they're fucking doing. That's what I was saying about Tom Watkins, my manager's mentor. So Terence Conran, Sir, there you go, Royal Connection once again. There he is in the middle. That's my ex-manager's mentor, guy in the middle. And to the right of him, Alan Yentob, BBC top man, who's also got a company with Camilla Batman Jelly. This woman, Andrew, called Keeping Kids Company. It's all looking very fucking suspicious. And then, you know, Alan Yentob, he's got friends up in high places. Ah, Alan, you know Prince Charles. Well, you had Andrew Ash on, didn't ya? Blowing up, you know, what he was saying on there about Prince Andrew and everything. You knew about the allegations, but yet you hang about Prince Andrew's brother. Well, Charles came up on there as well, didn't he, on the allegations, on the Andrew Ash Express interview. And then, you know, you stepped in and rubbished Andrew, didn't you, in 2016? We're calling him David. We still call him David. David. Who's accused your mate there, Prince Charles and his brother. See how they all know one another. And then Tom Watkins, my ex-manager, he's dead, is he? I don't think so. It was his book, Let's Make Lots of Money. But if you look here on the two smaller pictures in the middle, you can see formats and additions. And when you look at the other book, which is supposed to be the same, right? Let's Make Lots of Money. And then when I click on the other book now, Let's Make Lots of Money, Secrets of a Rich, Fat, Gay, Lucky Bastard. But look at the book. You'll Never Nanny in This Town Again. True Adventures of a Hollywood Nanny. Nah, that's what Watkins was. He's a child trafficker. Child procurer. For it. And because he's fucked up so badly and I found out about him, look at that. You'll never nanny in this town again. But what's he got next to it? Palm tree. Where'd you find them? Only in Hawaii. where I was supposed to go on holiday and be John Podesta's fucking hot dog stand. You'll never nanny in this town again, Tom. Let's make lots of money, it's your book. What's going on now? Palm tree, Hawaii. Is that where you've gone then, is it? I said they had Tom's house on Grand Designs, Channel 4. Here it is. Here it is. As on Grand Designs. Big white box. Let me read this out for you. The big white house at Pett Level, East Sussex, was designed by the owner Tom Watkins as his tribute to 1930s Bauhaus architecture, after starting out his working life as a designer for Terence Comran, who I just showed you in the picture a minute ago. Tom then changed career, making bands such as the Pet Shop Boys in the 1980s, and replicated the design of his recording studios in the unique design described by Kevin MacLeod as the perfect little sugar lump when the house was built, when the house was shown on Grand Designs. Right. 2004, that's the same year I had my car accident. Right. I'm just going to show you some more pictures. Right, here's Tom. Look in the background. What's in the background on that picture there? Mickey Mouse hand. Look at the weird art to the right of him, further up. I'll show you some more of his weird art. How about this? But I was telling you that he had drawings and paintings of naked boys. There's one of them. See it? Yep, told ya. Right, this is what Camilla Batman Jelly said when the government tried to stop her funding for keeping kids company. Kid charity boss, it's a VIP pedo cover-up. Camilla Batman Jelly claims she holds sex abuse secrets. 6th of August 2015. That's when the shit was hitting the fan. It's a VIP pedo cover-up. Well, why don't you fucking tell us what you know now, Camilla Batman Jelly? Friend of the BBC. Friend to the royals. There's another interesting part to that story. I'll bring up the full article. Let's turn off some of these underneath there. VIP pedo cover-up. The founder of bust charity kids company sensationally claimed yesterday she was being suppressed because of a VIP pedo cover-up. Camilla Batman Jelly said some of it involves historic sexual abuse of children involving very senior members of the establishment. Her outburst came the other day after her organisation was closed down because ministers wanted to recover a £3 million grant. She told the BBC, her mate, who's in the company with her, some child protection police officers had come to see me to say their investigations are being quashed. I wonder who that was. Some child protection officers had come to see me to say their investigations are being quashed. Sounds like John Wedger, doesn't it? Yeah, because Camilla Batman Jelly was allegedly doing food drops with John Wedger. Yeah, John Wedger was doing one just before he went round to see, he was fucking 2 hours late going round to see Nicky Cooper one time. Yeah, true story. They're unable to carry them out properly. There has been a culture of suppressing evidence of extensive childhood maltreatment by very powerful people. In years to come, the truth of all that will unfold. Yeah, you're fucking right, it will. Last night, Kids Company Chairman Alan Yentob, who is also the BBC's creative director. I think it's a bit more than that now. Camilla Batman Jelly, company check. West End Court Limited, Keeping Kids Company. Appointed in 98, resigned in 03. Keeping Kids Company. She's also a pastoral of psychology. Weren't Andrew Ash a spiritual healer as well? That's good, isn't it? Put them things out, because then when it comes to being credible, Andrew, you've only got Chris Fay sitting next to you, who's committed fraud a couple of years prior, but you already knew that. It was part of the plan, to make you not credible. Fucking joke, you lot. Here we go, Damien Hirst, another friend of Tom Watkins. And also Camilla Batman Jelly. Damien Hirst and Camilla Batman Jelly. I love the constant reincarnation of the Battered Mouse video interview. There's the Mickey Mouse theme again. These people are child traffickers. And they know all the right people. No wonder David Cameron didn't want to talk to me. Fucking no wonder. That was that year as well. Alan! Alan! Help me, Alan! Don't stand a chance at talking to the Prime Minister then. It's just, you know, Boris's girlfriend's a Satanist, we've seen that. And once again, Kids Company was special case to ministers, say MPs. BBC, Camilla Batman Jelly and Alan Yentob. Kids Company collapsed in August amid claims of financial bollocks. Scotland Yard investigation into allegations of historical sexual abuse. Kids Company go back to 2002. Well, I'll tell you why they wouldn't do nothing about that, because Scotland Yard and the police won't investigate Prince Andrew now. So why are they going to fucking investigate that? And they won't, because you see Prince Charles knows both of them, Yentob and Batman Jelly. You ain't getting fuck all fucking investigated. Like I say, how far you think you're going to get? Even the logo of the company was a paedophile symbol, heart in a heart. Look, two chickens, you know. No, chickens is terminology for fucking kids. Right, Camilla's house. Yeah, look at the thing round her neck, yeah, paedophile symbol. And then let's go in tighter on the house. Looks like Tom Watkins' house, doesn't it? White House. That's what it says on the door there. White House. So there you go. That's something to think about. Something to think about. And there's I could go on all night. I ain't got the energy. I haven't got the energy. There's so much I could play you right now. So much. But I think we've gone moody enough. I think that's it's been too moody, isn't it? Right, well, we're done with that now. So let's see, what have we got here? What have we got? Right, so let's get our let's have our little FaceTime camera there. Let's have a copy of that. Thank you very much. And let's go back to, where do we want to go? Let's go back on there. Let's click in there. Let's put me in there, like so. And let's liven things up. D-Living, out to you, my man.
Life is all about sex, money, and murder.
This is D-Living. Why? Why do you abuse kids? Why? Yeah, I got a little aftershave here. Yeah. Nice. Like to smell nice. What's happening, Adam? Didn't see. Hold up. Oh no, I've just killed the comments there. What have I done there? Yes, what's happening? You alright, Adam? Big up yourself, mate. No, Lee's not back tonight. He'll be back though, don't worry. He's coming back, don't worry. We've got a new setup coming for you. Yeah, listeners like this one. James Cole back again, could not resist the tunes. Of course not. He's a good old boy, Lee. He is, man. He's about, don't worry, I did see him earlier, but don't worry. Lee's back, man. Me and Lee will be back. We're back on the late night ones. We're gonna go in for you. Yeah, don't worry, we've got shit planned. I ain't forgot about ya. It's just it's a money thing at the minute, that's all. But it's coming. I did do one last night, I didn't hear it, man. Still mixing it up. I'm gonna get a DJ mixer, man. Gonna have to do this shit. Alright people, we're coming to the end, so gonna be calling it a night. What's the time now? 6:33. Satanic numbers, aren't they? Yeah, very satanic.
It's all about sex, money, and murder.
Fucking not wrong. I ain't been to keep you over. I said I weren't gonna have a late one tonight. Look at me.
Sex, money, and murder.
Look at me. Once again, everyone out there, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to do more of these. I'm going to do many, many more of these because I think they're needed in order to connect the dots, link everything up so you can see for yourself, you know, that they've been clocked, man. Like, they've been clocked, haven't they? Totally, completely. And no matter how many times they shut down the YouTube channels or you can't stop it. You're not going to be able to stop this. And here's why. Because this is my website. And you won't be able to stop me on here because it'll just be my guidelines on here, you see. And David Ikea's already subscribed. And I know he loves it. Maybe we can get him on the show at some point when we start doing interviews, because I will be doing interviews. And good morning, Nicky. How are you? How are you? Yeah. So don't worry, we'll be back, and we're going to go in for you. We're going to be getting all the characters back that you know and love, Sean. So. So, I can't wait for bhtv.uk. I took the video of Kelly. So for that. Hello, how are you? Okay, that's all we've got for today, and hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Let me just do this. Yeah, I thought I should do that because, well, I just thought I should, really. It's rude not to, isn't it? So, I'm going to play you out with this. You lot, have a great day, great morning, whatever you're doing. I'm off. And I thought I'll play you out with this little parody. Good night, everyone.
There's traffic on the left, there's traffic on the right. 17 at Robbie Creek in right. There's traffic on the left.
Hello? Yeah, hello, mate. What it is was there was an E7 gig the other night, and it was fucking shit. There's only one person I want to refund. Got a refund, mate. Refund. I want a refund, not a remix. I want a refund. Just give it to me. Refund.
Stealing it again. We did it, steal it. We did it, steal it again. Robbie Craig, steal it, he's 17.
There's only one left in the band. There's only one left, that's not E17. Nah, I want my money back. Fucking hell, mate. That was fucking crap. Robbie Craig? Who the fuck is that? Fucking old bloke. Fucking rotten hat. Fucking crying? What the fuck is that? Fucking eye makeup. I don't remember that. Where's Brian? Where's Tony? I want my money back, because this is pony. Slags!
When the crowd says no, forget ya. Refund.
There's only one left in the band. There's only one left, that's not E17. Refund. I want a refund, not a remix. I want a refund, just give it to me. Refund.
When the crowd says no, forget ya. Refund. When the crowd says no, forget ya. There's traffic on the left, there's traffic on the right. 17 at Robbie Creek in right.
Zen gig the other night, it was fucking shit. There's only one person there. I want to refund. Bad trouble, trouble. Bad trouble, trouble. Got a refund, mate. Bad trouble. Remix, refund. I want a refund, not a remix. I want a refund, just give it to me. Refund. We did it, stealing it again. We did it, steal it. We did it, steal it again. Robbie Craig, steal it, he's 17. There's only one left in the band. There's only one left, that's not 17. Nah, I want my money back. Fucking hell, mate. That was fucking crap. Robbie Craig? Who the fuck is that? Fucking old bloke. Fucking rotten hat. Fucking crying? What the fuck is that? Fucking eye makeup. I don't remember that. Where's Brian? Where's Tony? I want my money back, because this is pony. Slags! Refund. When the crowd says no, forget ya. Refund. There's only one left in the band. Got a refund, mate. Left, that's not 17. Refund. I want a refund, not a remix. I want a refund, just give it to me. Refund. When the crowd says no, forget ya. Refund. When the crowd says no, forget ya. There's trafficking on the left, there's trafficking on the right. 17 and Robbie Craig ain't alright. There's trafficking on the left, there's trafficking on the right. 17 and Robbie Craig just ain't right. Bad trouble, trouble. Bad trouble, trouble. Got a refund, mate. Bad trouble. Refund. I want a refund, not a remix. I want a refund, just give it to me. Refund. We did it, stealing it again. We did it, steal it. We did it, steal it again. Robbie Craig, steal it, he's 17. There's only one left in the band. There's only one left, that's not 17.